Hello again, everybody. Just a few minutes here to briefly walk through the syllabus and take a peek at the course Blackboard site, just so we're all on the same page and we're ready to get going for our first week of lectures and readings and assignments. So here I have before us the course syllabus. You can find a copy of this for yourself on the course Blackboard site. In one of the links on the left-hand side. You can see my information at the top. My email address is going to be the best way to get, in some ways, perhaps the only way to get a hold of me. This semester. I'm not going to have regular office hours. I've been displaced because of the construction right now, but I mean this is kind of par for the course with COVID right now anyway. But if you did want to meet in person, or if you want to have a kind of a Zoom meeting, I'm hoping to set up some kind of regular Zoom office hours. I haven't got that ironed out yet, but if you wanted to Zoom or just give me a call, just let me know, and that'll be fairly easy to arrange. All right. So as I said in the welcome video, and we'll say again in the lectures coming up for the first week, this is a class about living world religions, and the vast majority of our time is going to be spent looking at various religions around the world in from what we call the East and the West, from the polytheistic to the monotheistic. It's a really great class, and a lot of fun and kind of mind bending in many kinds of ways. Religion is a fascinating, puzzling, maddening, mystifying subject, and we'll do our best to kind of cover all the aspects that we can. Also in the welcome video, I called your attention to the two course texts. Again, get these as soon as you can. I'll be a little bit lenient in the opening weeks in terms of some of the assignments, just because I know sometimes these are hard to get. People can't find the money for these things right away, but do your best to get both of these texts as soon as you can. All right, grading breakdown. And so these are the categories by which I will evaluate you over the next several weeks. Your attendance and participation. And again, participation really is based on your timely submission of assignments, finishing quizzes, answering forum questions, and that kind of thing. Because again, like I said in the welcome video, this is an asynchronous course, and so we will not have times where we'll be meeting live, and so participation and attendance won't be graded in kind of a regular, face-to-face fashion. You'll have a number of forum responses, questions that I'll ask you to consider, films I'll be asking you to watch and respond to worth 150 points. Along the way, there will be reading quizzes. I'll say more about these in just a moment, worth 200 points. More like basically every week there will be assigned readings, excuse me, and a timed reading quiz on the Blackboard site in the weekly folder that we're in, that I'll expect you to complete for each set of readings, and cumulatively those will be worth about 200 points. There'll be two formal tests for the class, a midterm and a final exam. More on these, of course, later as they approach, but these will be essay based. These will not be tests with multiple choice. True, false. That's what the reading quizzes will be like. But the midterm and the final, which of course will both be take home, I'll give you a chunk of time to work on them and then upload them on the Blackboard site. But these will be essay based. I like to give questions where I'll give you an argument and ask you to defend it or argue against it, or ask you to compare and contrast things that we haven't necessarily compared and contrast in weekly lectures and readings. And those will be worth potential 200 points each. And then there'll be one formal essay, one course paper that I'll ask you to do. Again, I'm not going to say much about it now. That'll be due at the very end of the semester, and that too will be worth a potential 200 points. So altogether, it's a total of 1,000 possible points. I grade on a fairly straight scale, so 900 points to 1,000 points, that is 90 to 100% would be an A. Just so we're on the same page, my grading scale is a 95%. 200 percent is a straight A, or that would be 950 points to 1,000 points. And I only mention that just because I've heard from students that in many classes they've taken at GRCC, a straight A is a 93 to 100. My grading scale is maybe just slightly more demanding than that, and and the reason for that is I don't think you'll find that I'm a particularly kind of nitpicky or kind of overly harsh grader, but I do think that a straight A should only go to work that's above and beyond. So a 95 and above in this class is an A. All right, I talked about attendance. The reading quizzes will work like this, and so these will be in kind of our weekly folders in the Blackboard site. I'll show you folder week 1 folder in just a moment. But for every reading that I give you, there'll be a complimentary reading quiz. These will be timed. So they're usually somewhere between 10 and 20 questions, depending on the length of the reading. And say for a 10-question quiz, I'll usually give you about 15 minutes to complete. And I think you'll find that's plenty of time to do it. And I have them timed just to keep you honest. I want you to do the readings and do them well, and to digest them. And so I don't want you just simply to kind of open a quiz and then frantically flipping a book looking for answers. That really defeats the purpose. And doubly so, in an online class, where in asynchronous online class, this really is a kind of independent study. So it's really much more on you to stay on top of these things. And so I think in some ways the readings themselves become that much more important in an asynchronous class, because they're not going to be necessarily reinforced with kind of a live lecture attending to whatever questions you might have. So it's really on you to do these readings and to do them well and to take these quizzes. I don't think you'll find them to be all that difficult. I'm not out to trick you. I'm not going to pick obscure things from readings and throw them into a quiz. It really is just basically to test basic comprehension and digestion of a particular reading. So the quizzes are timed, but you'll be allowed to attempt them twice. Just know that the software will average the score of your 2 attempts. And so after you finish your first attempt, the software should tell you which questions you got wrong, if any. It won't tell you the right answer, but you can use that information if you want to take a second attempt to do better and then boost your score. Again, if you ace it the first time through, no need to take it a second time, and that grade will simply go to your grading book. Like I said, the midterm and the final exam will be kind of broad-based, essay-based tests. I usually will give some sort of choice, write on 2 of these 3 long-form essays, or 3 out of 4. And again, here is a chance for you to kind of compare and contrast, or take a thesis and argue for or against it in a broad kind of way. Yes, there will be a course paper. I'm not going to say anything about that now, because I don't want to overload you with things. Also, like I said, the best way to communicate with me is via my GRCC web email address, jeffreywinkle@grcc.edu. And any communication I send to the class will be via Blackboard. So do use your GRCC email account. I'm sure that's fairly obvious, but I'm not given access or a link to if you have a Gmail account or something else. The course schedule, I'm not going to say a whole lot here. In the first week of lectures, you'll see kind of an overview of what we'll be talking about. But here's the course schedule. So each week, you can see the topics here and the attendance readings. And so on the Blackboard site, each of these weeks will have its own folder. And in that folder, again, I'll lay out kind of what I'm expecting you to do. If there's quizzes to be taken, they'll be there. If there's readings outside of the textbooks, they'll be there. If there's videos I want you to watch, they'll be there. And so each week's folder will show you exactly what you need to do each week. And the idea is that I'm asking you for each week, you open the folder, and all the work in that folder you complete by 11:59 p.m. Sunday, right before the next week of classes begins. So you'll have a full week to do all the assignments in there. Like I said, I'll be a little bit lenient with deadlines, at least the first couple of weeks. But once it's fairly clear that everybody has the course texts and is up to speed, then quizzes will close, and forums will close, just as an added encouragement for you to get these things done on time. So have a look at this, and you can see kind of the topics that we'll be talking about in the attendant readings on the right, in the right-hand column. And at the bottom, you can see the kind of the college policies, and these are fairly rote things that all syllabuses all syllabi are supposed to have. So have a look at that on your own. All right, let's pop over to the course Blackboard site, which if you open it today, if you're watching this video, you've already opened it. You'll see the announcement page with kind of a little cartoon of some of the major religions from around the world. We'll be looking at in detail at most of those. The most important link on the side here is this weekly assignments link. So if you click on that, you can see of course the orientation folder where you find the welcome video and the video that you're watching right now. And then here's week 1. So if you open week 1, it'll show you, kind of tell you exactly what I want you to do. So before 11:59 p.m. on Sunday, January 18th, please watch the lecture videos linked below. Read Hesiod's Theogony Works and Days. We're going to start with some ancient Greek material. You can find that link below as well. And take the time quiz on the Hesiod reading. So there's a handful of short lectures I'm asking you to read. An assignment, a translation of some ancient Greek myth that I want you to read. Then here's the reading quiz. And so you'll click this, and once you press go, or once you open it, that timer will start. Here it's 10 multiple choice questions, and you have 15 minutes to answer them. And again, you can attempt it twice, and your scores will be averaged. So as the weeks go on, the week 2 folder will pop up, and so on and so forth. Any kind of discussion forum that I ask you to do will be find in this link. You'll also find links to those in the weekly folders as well. Here you can find the syllabus, which I just went through. You can find my information here. Some research resources, which will become important once I introduce the paper assignment. But again, you don't have to worry about that right now. So I hope you find it fairly intuitive. Again, don't hesitate to send me any questions you might have, or if anything's unclear, or if you find something missing, or if something's not working. If there's a glitch with the quizzes, again, don't hesitate. It's really easy for me to go in and fix these things, and give you lost points or give you another attempt. Don't be shy. Just let me know. I am going to do my best to be as available as I can and as responsive as I can throughout the semester. So let me know how it looks, how it goes as we get into things next week, and I will be talking to you digitally very, very soon. See ya.